Hi everybody, how are yous doing today? I am back, surprisingly after a short time, not an entire week after my Saturday, Friday off the grid after party, because I wanted to try out a new filming method because I'm not thrilled about my first setup, and I just wanted to try this and get some feedback from y'all to see how you think if this is any better, because I know from my most recent video, Saturday after grid after I can't talk now. Saturday off the grid after party, I wasn't thrilled with the audio recording. So we're going to do a short stitch-along video here. We're working on the Soldiers in Let Freedom Ring by Lila Studio. Again, if you are new to the channel, this is 40 count linen called Autumn Leaves by XJU Designs. And while we are stitching, I found a Christmas tag online to do. So let me just catch my bearings with where I am at in the pattern. And here we go. Question number 1. What is your favorite Christmas movie? I really don't watch Christmas movies. I don't really like Christmas movies, so I guess I would say the Charlie Brown Peanuts Christmas special. I just am not a fan of a lot of the, I don't know, sentimental drama Christmas movies, and I definitely do not like the old Christmas movies, or not the old, I mean like the traditional ones, like A Christmas Movie or whatever they're called. I do like The Muppets Christmas Carol. I forgot about that. I haven't seen that in forever, but I do like that just because it's the Muppets. Who doesn't love the Muppets? One more stitch. Number 2. Are you on the naughty list or the nice list? I think I'll let y'all decide that one. I guess it depends upon the person you ask, right? Number 3, show us an embarrassing Christmas photo. I don't think there are any because I don't really get embarrassed by photos that much. There's photos I don't like, but I wouldn't say that they're embarrassing. Plus, I don't really take a lot of Christmas photos. If anything, I take a lot of stitching photos. Have you ever had a white Christmas? Yes. I lived in Western Pennsylvania all my life. Northwestern, so we got a lot of the Lake Erie lake effect snow. So yes, I'm sure I've had white Christmases. It's very possible we could have a white Christmas this year. However, because we have about 2 inches of snow right now, but I think it's supposed to melt next week. Do you start your Christmas shopping on Black Friday or wait until the last minute? I guess that one depends upon the year, if I know what I'm buying people. But this year, I actually started back in October. So, again, it all depends upon the year. So sometimes I wait till Black Friday, and sometimes I start early, and sometimes I start later. Let me do my counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, 9, 6. Let's go ahead and finish off this rifle, and then we will move on to the next rifle. So these are the rifles of the military men, or the Minutemen, because back during the Revolution they were called Minutemen because they were able to be, they were often farmers and laborers in their towns, and when the government called on them to be ready for, or to be ready to fight, they could be ready in a minute, because all they had to do was run into the house, get their rifles, or whatever their gun was called at the time. I'm not a expert on guns. And they were ready to fight. I moved. Gotta get used to. Right now I'm sitting between, or the camera is sitting between me and the work. Okay. Let's find my place of where I need to be. Now I'm losing my thread. Where'd it go? There it is. So again, let me just double check to make sure that's in the right spot. And it is. So let's move on. Next question is, if you could be in any Christmas movie, what would it be? Yeah, I don't know. Because again, I'm not a fan of Christmas movies. Except for the Muppets. Number 8. Name all of Santa's reindeer. There's Dasher and Prancer and or Comet and Cupid, Donner and Blitzen. Oh. Dasher and Dancer, Prancer and Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Donner, Blitzen, and Rudolph. When does your family put up your Christmas tree and who decorates it? Well, since I live alone, I decorate it, and this year I chose to put it up, I think it was a week or two before Thanksgiving, just because I wasn't going to be home for Thanksgiving, and I wanted to make sure it was up. Because I always like to have it up at least by the weekend after Thanksgiving. So, because a month is not a lot of time to have your tree up. And actually, usually I leave it up through at least Martin Luther King Day, which is like the third week in January in the United States. It's in the teens. Question 10. Is your Christmas tree real or fake? Obviously, since I leave it up for about 2 months, can you guess which one it is? I have never had a real Christmas tree in my life. Don't really have any idea what that would be like, other than a big mess because of all the needles falling off over time. Yeah, I think that would drive me nuts. Peeking at gifts or be surprised? I like to be surprised. I like to surprise people, and I like being surprised. I am very patient. I can wait so that I get that surprise. So, yeah. Show us your ugly Christmas sweater if you have one. I do not have one. I do not wear ugly things. I don't care if it's a trend. Not my cup of tea. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I always like to double check myself. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, on track here. If you could be under the mistletoe with anyone, who would it be? Yeah. Number 15, does your family have a special holiday recipe you'd like to help make? Not really. We don't have anything special other than we always have noodles and mashed potatoes, and we put our noodles on top of the mashed potatoes, but that wouldn't be a recipe. I know most people are just grossed out by it, so enjoy. Five, good. Skip 2. 1, 2, go one more. I'm not worried about trailing that because those stitches will be filled in. There we go, I believe 9 up. Yes. $16. Are you a pro present wrapper or do you fail miserably? Okay. Now, I misread this whenever I first read the question. I am a good present wrapper. I do it very well, but I hate doing it. So this year I started early, if you saw my Vlogmas episode number 1, because I don't like sitting and doing it. I'm impatient. But yes, I learned professionally as a mall Christmas present wrapper when I was a kid. We used to, my mom's work used to have a night where they would go and be the volunteers in the mall to do all the different stations, and my brother and I would always volunteer to help out with the Christmas wrapping. So I learned from professionals. So a lot of times it's always, in my mind, it might not be in everyone else's mind, but it's always a competition to see who has better wrapping and who has better paper, and it's just fun. Eight and 9, and I want to check this other one because I feel like it's not right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's not. Guess what? We're trailing. It's one stitch and it's going to be stitched over with head, so it'll be fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Carolyn, yes, you can cringe all you want. That's what I do. I'm sticking with it. Cut that one off again. And we move on to the last rifle. So I have to say, my last Stitch With Me video, the one that I did for Saturday's after party, if you hadn't noticed, I filmed it after work on Friday night, and Friday was a very rough day, and so you can definitely tell in the video that I was not having a very good day that day. So, and I think that's what's great about FlossTube is that, you can have good days, you can have bad days, and people will still watch and support no matter what. So I want to thank everyone for that. Appreciation for the work that we do, even if it's not top notch. 1, 2, 3, and then we go up. Up, 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 up. There we go. And I think that reflected in my project because I ended up having to frog most all of what I stitched on Ornamental Joy because I just was not having a good day. But I think that happens to all of us. So it happens. I'm willing to show that on my videos just to help people know that, yes, you can have bad days. You can stitch a whole lot and end up having to frog, and it's okay because you just rip it out and move on. Let me do my check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. That's the 9th one. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep. We are good. Let's see, where are we at in the questions? We have 4 more. Have you ever gone Christmas caroling? Yes. My father was a United Methodist minister, and growing up, many years, he would gather groups of people and we would go caroling. And I always thought it was strange, and I'm a singer, but I just thought it was strange. We also used to do it in school, in high school. That was a little bit better. It wasn't so awkward, but yeah. So yes, I have gone Christmas caroling. I'm trying to do this so my hand isn't always in view. But I know most of you aren't watching anyways, you're doing your own stitching. What tops your tree? If you saw in my Vlogmas episode, and if you haven't, go back and check that out, I am a sucker for very traditional, old-fashioned looking trees. Traditional. And so what tops my tree is a finial. Or at least that's what I've always called them, as a finial. And it took me forever to find one, and I would still like to find some more because they're just not popular. So the stores here in the States don't really have them. I had to go to a specialty Christmas store, and they only had one that I liked, so I got that. But I do have stars. I am not an angel person. I am religious, I just don't like angels, and that's not right. In the wrong hole. There we go. So I have a traditional finial, and then I have a backup star, because last year I had to buy a star because for the first Christmas tree in my house, because I could not find a finial anywhere. Let me see if I can. Maybe this will help a little bit. My hand won't be in the whole view. Let's try just sliding down here. Okay. Let's see if that's better. We only have a couple more questions, so I appreciate your understanding as I'm getting used to this new filming style. Number 19, do you make New Year's resolutions? And a sub question, do you stick with them? Yes and no. I usually make a New Year's resolution. Some years I do really well, some years I don't. This last year, 2017, I did not do very well, but a lot of that is because the resolutions I made, my migraines interfered with them. Usually I keep my resolutions private, so it's not like it's something that I like to advertise. It's just a personal resolution just to try to better my lifestyle. Let's double count. Ooh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I went too far. No one told me to stop. And the last question. You have been granted one Christmas wish. What will it be? Oh my gosh. If I had one Christmas wish, I would wish that all of my student loans were paid off. I know that seems, well, maybe it doesn't seem strange, but, or selfish. Well, yeah, it may be a little bit selfish, but you know, student loans suck. And I have a lot of them because I am in a doctorate program. So yeah, that is what my wish would be that my student loans were paid off. So I'm going to finish out this rifle and I will see you on the next video. Happy stitching.